question. So how has the kind of prizes, but more the support side from the development fund, working with Lee, how has it helped you kind of thus far in the project?
Great. I mean, I've got to get back to her now, but she's Lee, everyone, Justine,
Mhm.
so attentive, amazing, great to get that Christmas present of money, by the way. Amazing. But Lee is great. Like, she is not what I expected. I was so happy. She is so straightforward, and she's like, I'm hard not to crack, and that's good for me. I like a challenge. And I said, I want you to push me because I don't want this to take a year. Like, I want you to be on me. And so she's been very gently pushing, and just great advice, great insight,
Mm.
knows how to do this and knows what she's talking about. And, and I'm like trying to rise to the occasion to be funny enough for her to laugh.
Yeah,
you know?
that's always a good challenge. You're like, even the hard nuts to crack, it's like, how do I make them laugh in
Yeah.
this short span of time?
Yeah. And I was talking to her and I was like, we're doing an hour of Zoom. And I'm like, I could just sit here and talk to her all night. Like, I don't want this to be, I know it's her time, but I'm like,
Mhm.
can we do this every week? Just because she is very encouraging, but she's definitely, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do, like making suggestions, not never telling me what to do, but telling me it's got to be shorter, telling me it's got to be funny, 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 funny. And I said, oh, this isn't a sitcom. It's sort of a
Mhm.
continuing series. So I didn't really know that it had to be
Yeah,
that funny. And she goes, well, that is different. But she said, no comedy has ever been turned away by being too funny.
exactly.
Like, ramp it up. And I'm like, yeah, got it. So it's been great.
Yeah, yeah. What is there like maybe another specific instance with maybe characters or plot that she has maybe helped you with or anything
Yeah.
like
I mean, just stuff that I wouldn't see. And this is a little silly and stupid because I can't think off the top of my head, but just silly stuff. Like, she wants me to, even though it's a comedy, she's like, look, there's stakes involved, right? So what kind of stakes is your main character, Maggie, going to have losing her job if her sister is this rich bitch that could buy and
that?
sell her? There's no stakes really there. Like, she already looks like she's lost everything. What else can she lose? Because we want to root for her. We also want to know there's more to lose.
Right.
So she made me keep that in mind, and keeping with the theme and that kind of thing. I think that she's trying to tell me to balance, like, I have to be funny, but I also have to tell the story. And so every scene I'm trying to think of, like, is this pertinent? Can we do without this? Is this just in it for gratuitous funny?
Mhm.
Because then it doesn't work and you can throw it away. So I'm having to look, you have to kill your babies, and you have to
Mhm.
look at where I'm like, this happened to me. It's so funny, isn't it? Slash, because it doesn't
It
fit.
doesn't like fit into the narrative that you're trying to create, even though it's
Yeah,
like a key moment in your mind. They're like, no, cut it.
right. And she's never been specific about what to cut, but she's guided me in the way that said, how is that going to be a hurdle for her if this happens? And she said something to me about one of the other characters. She said, this character just seems like she's a sounding board for her. I mean, if you could lose that scene or make this girl more than a sounding board to her.
Mm.
She's like, so that makes sense too, because I've always known that you have to have, like, sort of opposing views in a scene where you can't just be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it was a little too, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think I
Mhm.
I got rid of the scene because I agreed. It didn't make any sense.
Gotcha.